On the broadcast tonight, we cover the rising tension amidst the protests in Turkey.
And we look into the troubling allegations against impractical joker Joe Gatto.
All that and more right now on SUTV News. Good evening and welcome back to this week's broadcast with the latest news. I'm Haley Galaskis.
And I'm Maddie Shively. Shippensburg police are advising people to watch out for scams. They issued a warning to residents Friday, March 21st, which could result in financial loss or identity theft. Scammers use different tactics to trick victims into sharing sensitive information or sending money. Some ways to prevent getting scammed over the phone are to be wary of unsolicited calls, verify the caller's identity, and never give out personal information. If you feel like you have received a suspicious call, hang up and report it to the local police department. Do you want to learn how to protect yourself? The Feminist Self-Defense for Everyone event is a fun, smart, and safer space workshop to learn self-defense skills, identify boundaries, and learn verbal and physical techniques for conflict de-escalation and protection. Gain practical skills to protect yourself and others in situations from annoying to uncomfortable to dangerous. Learn skills to prevent, interrupt, and heal. Everyone is welcome and encouraged to come.
As the spring sports season kicks into gear, so does each sport's Green Out mental health awareness games. Wrestling had their hidden opponent game January 30th, and tennis had their match March 22nd. Saturday, softball has their hidden opponent game against Westchester. The Hidden Opponent is a nonprofit organization that creates long-lasting systemic change in sports through mental health work. Their mission is to provide athletes with the resources to prioritize their mental health. If you want to learn more about the nonprofit organization, visit www.thehiddenopponent.org. Tomorrow, Friday the 28th, Shipwreck will be hosting another pickleball tournament. It will be held in the gym in the Shipwreck at 3 p.m. You can sign up with a partner or as a single player. Students can bring their own pickleball gear or borrow it from the desk with their student ID. There will be placement games and then bracket-style play will take place for the tournament. Go to imleagues.com/ship to register now.
Next week marks Shippensburg University's celebration of Transgender Day of Visibility. On April 2nd, students are invited to join the Page Center in listening to the lives and experiences of transgender students on campus. This event will be held in the Cub, room 119, from 6 to 7 p.m. This will be the third Transgender Circle event held here at SHIP. Make sure to come and support the Page Center for this heartfelt event.
Coming up next, we cover the wildfires in South Korea.
And we look into the problematic start of President Trump's new secure messaging app.
We'll be right back after this.
Are you failing a class or don't know what you're doing? You're in luck. Shippensburg Primary Academic Resource Center is free to all SHIP students. The Student Success Center, also known as the Learning Center, is located on the first floor of Mowry Hall. The center provides a variety of services, including course-based tutoring, writing tutoring, and learning specialists. To schedule an in-person or Zoom appointment, visit the Student Success Center collaborative website, ship.campus.eab.com. I'm Will Nicholson with SUTV.
Here at Multicultural Student Affairs, we value every student. No matter your race or ethnicity, you are guaranteed a home here. MSA offers many resources: a place to study, a place to meditate, a place to socialize, or a safe place to communicate issues or talk with a faculty member. Come down to Gilbert Hall today and join our family. Our roots run deep. Why not grow together? This is a public service announcement from MSA.
Are you having a hard time focusing on your work? Why not check out the Ezra Lehman Memorial Library? The library has many resources like the IT desk on the main floor. For computer assistants, see the experts. Need to print in black and white or color? Don't worry, the library offers both options on different floors. You can use the bottom floor for group work and the top floor for when you need silence. Don't forget to stop by Starbucks. Check out library.ship.edu for more information. This is a public service announcement from SUTV.
It's time to take a trip around the globe with Jaden Pullman in this week's World News.
Jessica Aber, the Biden-appointed U.S. attorney, was found dead in her Virginia home on the morning of March 22nd. Aber was 43 years old and was found unresponsive in her home at 9:20 a.m. on Saturday. Aber had recently resigned from her position after one of her biggest wins in court, where she took down ex-CIA agent Asif Rahman for leaking top-secret documents on Israel's plan to attack Iran last year. Aber was also in charge of Russian fraud. U.S. Attorney General Pamela Bondi said, quote, "The loss of Jessica Aber, former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, is deeply tragic," end quote. The cause of death was determined to be natural causes and no foul play was involved, police said, stating she had long-standing medical issues. South Korea is fighting deadly wildfires in their southern region. Wildfires are not uncommon for South Korea, especially during their driest months of February, March, and April. However, this year, the number of reported wildfires was 2.4 times higher than the same period last year. The Associated Press has reported 27 people have been killed by the blaze and more than 30,000 have been forced to flee their homes. Of those 27 civilians, authorities say 4 were civil servants dispatched to fight the wildfires. According to the South Korean government's Disaster Response Center, the flames have burned nearly 90,000 acres of land. Many homes and buildings have been destroyed, including a centuries-old Buddhist temple, which was considered a major landmark. The only part of the temple remaining is the ceremonial bell. Authorities have said more than 10,000 firefighters, police, and civil servants have been working overtime to extinguish the fires since they broke out over the weekend. South Korea's Prime Minister and acting President Han Duck-soo told reporters, quote, "We need to focus all our capabilities on extinguishing wildfires for the rest of this week, as we're concerned about unprecedented wildfire damages," end quote. Hopefully, the forecasted rain for South Korea will aid in its efforts to put the raging blazes to rest. Sunday marked the 5th night of protest across Turkey. The protests followed the arrest and jailing of Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, President Erdogan's most serious political rival. Police confronted protesters in the capital, Istanbul, with pepper spray, and there were reports of officers striking demonstrators after fireworks and objects were thrown at riot police. State media reports that İmamoğlu and some 100 others associated with him have now been accused of belonging to a criminal group. Along with a litany of other charges filed by the Istanbul's prosecutor's office, supporters of the popular mayor claim the charges are politically motivated. As tensions continue to rise, international leaders and human rights organizations are closely monitoring the situation, urging the Turkish government to ensure due process and uphold democratic principles. Meanwhile, supporters of İmamoğlu remain defiant, vowing to continue their demonstrations despite crackdowns. With Turkey's political future hanging in the balance, all eyes are on how the government will respond in the coming days. For now, the streets of Istanbul remain a battleground between protesters and police as calls for justice grow louder. The outcome of this crisis could shape Turkey's leadership and its relationship with the international community for years to come. The Trump administration has escalated its immigration enforcement efforts, carrying out widespread deportations in the cities across the country. Officials say the crackdown is necessary to uphold the rule of law and protect American jobs. Federal agents are targeting those in the country illegally, removing thousands of individuals as part of a broader push to secure the border and deter future immigration. The administration insists that these actions are long overdue and essential for national security. But the move has sparked outrage from Democrats and others. Critics argue these deportations are sweeping up longtime residents, separating families, and instilling fear in immigrant communities. Reports have emerged of people being detained in workplaces, homes, and even outside schools. With detention centers filling up and deportation flights increasing, legal challenges are mounting. Civil rights groups say many detainees are being denied due process, while the administration remains firm in its stance that these actions are lawful and necessary. Meanwhile, international leaders are responding with some countries pushing back against receiving deported individuals. As removals continue, the debate over immigration enforcement is intensifying. For some communities across the country, the impact is already being felt. Families are being torn apart, businesses are losing workers, and the future remains uncertain. As the nation watches, many are split on whether President Trump's actions are putting the country's immigration in a better or worse position. Top national security officials texted plans for an upcoming military strike in Yemen in a group chat on a messaging app called Signal. While the app seems to be considered secure, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg, was unknowingly added to it. The content of the chat included a sequence of attacks and weapons that would be used against a rebel group in Yemen that is supported by Iran. The strike since happened following the leak. Vice President J.D. Vance was also in the group and even has a text questioning President Trump's decision-making. President Trump is defending his team and is claiming that the app might be defective and called the situation a glitch. Senator Angus King from Maine says that, quote, "This wasn't a bunch of teenagers deciding what they were going to do on the weekend. This was the highest level discussion about a military attack on another country," end quote. This has been World News. I'm Jaden Pullman. Now back to Haley and Maddie at the desk.
When we come back, we take a look at next week's weather forecast.
Stay tuned.
A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
Scary that it can be put into anything. We can't even see it or notice it.
There's been another deadly shooting at a local elementary school. According to authorities, the suspect acquired the gun from a family member's home before using it to take the lives of innocent children and teachers.
Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
There's only one thing that will save somebody's life, and that is naloxone nasal spray. Get 911 on the phone, get the emergency responses there on their way.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Well, Haley, I think our prayers have finally been answered. We're seeing the sun come out.
I
finally.
know. I'm excited to wake up in the morning to check my weather app because we keep getting these warm days thrown in throughout the week. I'm excited for it.
It's a good surprise.
Yeah.
I think this feeling the warmth, the sun on your skin is the push that we need to get through these last couple weeks of the semester.
Yeah. Well, let's see if the warmth is going to stick around. Let's send it over to Caroline Cooper with this week's weather forecast.
Caroline, what you got?
Thanks, Haley and Maddie. I totally agree with you guys. We've had this awesome, nice weather, but unfortunately it isn't quite sticking for us yet. Today we had a nice little bit of weather. We had some sun and we had a little bit of warm temperatures. Our high was about 52 degrees. We had a little bit of wind and thankfully we didn't have any rain, but we will seeing a little bit more of that tomorrow. So going into Friday's weather, we'll be seeing a high of around 63 degrees. Our wind is staying and we will have about a scattering of showers throughout the afternoon, but the percentages are looking pretty low. Now, as we go into this weekend, Saturday, we will be seeing some amazing weather. We're going into the 70s this weekend. I can't even believe it. Saturday, we're expecting a high of 77. I'm hoping that boosts up to 80 degrees for the first time this year. But Sunday, we'll be coming back down a little bit. We'll be seeing partly cloudy weather with a high of 70 degrees. And then that rain will be sticking through as we start the beginning of our week. We'll be seeing a lot of rain on Monday with a high of 70 degrees. Now looking into the rest of the week, Tuesday we'll be seeing sunny weather again for our networking night, and then Wednesday the sun will be hiding back behind the clouds, but that's not to take away from our shine on CJM Day. Super excited. Wednesday we'll have a high of 56, so it'll be a little bit cooler, and then Thursday we'll be seeing some rain and a high of 67 degrees. So we're going to have weather all over the place this week. That's all I have for you. I'm Caroline Cooper. Now over to Lex with entertainment.
Practical Joker star Joe Gatto has been accused of sexual assault. The controversy started when a woman on TikTok claimed Gatto assaulted her after she went to his hotel room after one of the performer's comedy shows. She was 19 years old at the time. Gatto has released numerous statements denying the allegations and has said, quote, "Anyone who knows me at all knows full well I wouldn't assault anyone," end quote. Despite this, Gatto said he plans on taking time away from the public spotlight. The Final Destination franchise returns with a chilling new installment. The official trailer for Final Destination Bloodlines has been released, promising a fresh take on Death's design. The film follows college student Stephanie, portrayed by Caitlin Santawana, who experiences violent, recurring nightmares, leading her to uncover a dark family secret. The late Tony Todd reprises his iconic role as William Bloodworth, marking his final on-screen appearance before his passing in November 2024. Directed by Adam Stein and Zach Lipovsky, the film promises the series' signature elaborate death sequences and spine-tingling bloody scenes. Final Destination Bloodlines is set to premiere in theaters on May 16, 2025. The co-director for an Oscar-winning documentary was brutalized and detained last week. In the shocking footage, Hamdan Bilal was attacked by Israeli settlers in front of his home and family in the Palestinian area. Bilal is the co-director of No Other Land, a 2024 documentary examining the violence and forced displacement of Palestinians inflicted by Israel. Bilal was then detained by the IDF from the ambulance he called. Many were left concerned over his conditions and whereabouts. Thankfully, earlier this week, Bilal was released from custody. Bilal said the attack won't scare him away from his goal of defending his community's land. The long-awaited sequel to the first installment of Death Stranding has arrived. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach is set to launch exclusively on PlayStation 5 on June 26, 2025. Pre-orders are now open, offering multiple editions for fans. The standard edition includes the full game with pre-order bonuses, while the digital deluxe edition offers extra in-game items and early access. For collectors, a special edition features exclusive merchandise, including a Magellan Man statue and art cards. Pre-orders are available through major retailers and the PlayStation Store. Star Wars released the second trailer for Andor Season 2 this past Monday. This new trailer gives more of a look into the drama, action, and characters that will appear. Diego Luna reprises his role as the titular Andor and is joined once again by the stellar cast of Season 1. There's been overwhelming response from fans, many of which are excited to see where this new season is heading. The season will premiere April 22nd on Disney+. This has been Lex Boyd with your official entertainment news. And now back to Maddie and Haley at the desk.
After this, we have a recap on the latest ship sports.
And we cover the excitement surrounding MLB's opening day.
Stick around for more after this.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Softball was back at home yesterday for a doubleheader against Millersville. Sophomore Bree Wilmont led the Raiders for the day, going 4 for 6 in the day, including an RBI in Game 2. Ship's ace Alicia Ball was on the mound for Game 1, and she had her best stuff, throwing the full game with only 1 run scored the entire game. Riley Erlocker launched an RBI triple to cap off a 6-1 victory in Game 1. As for Game 2, the Raiders kept their pitching dominance with another complete game, this time from Danny Hayward, who also had 9 strikeouts in her first outing. The offense had her back, including a pair of 2-out triples in the 6th inning from Emily Sullivan and Emily Lafferty to cap off a 4-0 victory. The softball team will be back at home Saturday for a doubleheader against Westchester in the THO game. Catch the action at Robb Field. Ship baseball faced off against Bloomsburg last Saturday in a doubleheader matchup. The Raiders took Game 1 after a great performance from pitcher JT Weaver. The junior earned 1 run on 5 hits with 3 strikeouts in just 6 innings. Sophomore Irby Weller gave the Raiders the lead with a 2-run double in the second. The team tacked on 2 more with a back-to-back home runs from Ty Sherman and Mason Morris to seal the win 4-1. The second game was an offensive masterclass by the Raiders, with 9 runs on 14 hits with 6 runs in the first 2 innings. Carter Arthur-Banat slammed an RBI double into left center field, followed by Ty Sherman and Bryce Herb bringing in a runner each. The Huskies closed the gap in the 5th, but the Raiders scored right after, again in the 6th, to seal the series. The team plays this next weekend with back-to-back doubleheaders against Millersville. The tennis team was at home over the weekend for their hidden opponent game against Malloy. The Raiders won 4 straight single matches, including their number 3 ranked player, freshman Jade Miller, who secured a 6-2 and 6-1 in her matchup. Sophomore Rachel Gallagher won her number 4 ranked singles match with 2 shutout victories against her opponent. In the number 1 doubles matchup, Corrine Markovich and Yasmin Demeyer claimed 4 games in their battle with the other number 1 ranked doubles team. The tennis will be back at home this Saturday against ESU for a PSAC matchup. Catch the action at Robb Sports Complex. After a long offseason, the MLB season is upon us. Major League Baseball opening day is on Thursday with 14 games and 28 teams in action. After 7 weeks of spring training, all teams are ready to start their 162-game schedule. The Los Angeles Dodgers will play in front of their home crowd for the first time since winning the World Series last fall. Juan Soto, who signed a 15-year, $765 million deal this past offseason, will make his Mets debut. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Paul Skeens, will take the ball for the Pirates in his first opening day start. The Phillies, who reloaded this offseason with a new pitching weapons, look for revenge from last year. Baseball fans, the MLB is back. Who will you be rooting for this year? The decorated national champion head coach of the field hockey team, Tara Zollinger, had officially accepted an offer to become the head coach at a Division I school as she becomes the head coach at the University of Delaware. Coach Tara began her Raider coaching career at Chip in 2017, immediately winning 2 national championships back-to-back in her first 2 seasons of coaching. The Raiders would win another national title in 2021, with the team also capturing their first PSAC title in her tenure. The Raiders would have dominance in the PSAC over the next couple of seasons, including a PSAC championship in her final season this past year in 2024. Zollinger posted a farewell message to her players, coaches, and Ship community on Instagram yesterday, saying, quote, "Forever and always a Raider." That's all for sports this week. I'm Walker Stutz. Now back to Haley and Maddie at the desk.
Coming up next, we talk about how Jersey Mike's is giving back to the community.
Stay tuned for more after this.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Giving back to your community is something everyone aims to do, but Jersey Mike's is making it easy and delicious to donate to a good cause.
Jersey Mike's is going a sub and beyond this March to give back
Haley,
to
I'm gonna
local
tell you something.
charities. During the month of March, customers will be given the chance to round up to a local charity of the store's choosing at checkout as part of Jersey Mike's Month of Giving. Yesterday, however, was a big day of giving back for their annual Day of Giving. During this Day of Giving, all sales are directly donated to the charity. This year, Jersey Mike's of Shippensburg is teaming up with Make-A-Wish of Greater Pennsylvania and West Virginia, which grants wishes for children who are suffering from critical illnesses. Store manager Daryl has high hopes to increase the amount donated this year.
This year we've chosen for the Shippensburg location in future years to do Make-A-Wish in Central PA. Last year, I think collectively we raised about $25 million nationwide for local charities and organizations. And this year we're hoping we just came off our national conference, we're hoping to blow that number out of the water.
By the end of the day Wednesday, sales were about $5,000, which will be donated to Make-A-Wish to help make children's wishes come true. For SUTV News, I'm Emily Hall.
Haley, I've got to tell you something. I was really excited to see Jersey Mike's was featured on the broadcast tonight because I actually had gotten Jersey Mike's to eat today, and it's probably my favorite place to go for a convenient meal nearby.
Maddie, I've got to tell you something. I've never had Jersey Mike's.
You gotta go. And you're able to get a student discount if you show your ship ID. This is not sponsored, however, it is just a really convenient place to go. And there's so many delicious options, and it's so good. I feel like you'll really enjoy it.
Okay, you know what? You sold me. I'm gonna go next time.
All right.
Well, thank you for spending your evening here with us at SUTV. I'm Haley Galaskis.
And I'm Maddie Shively. Join us next week for the latest news on and off campus. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website, sutvnews.org.
Thank you, and have a good night.